One of the archetypes that I've got the most sympathy for, man, when it comes to retention and waking up, it's those of you guys who are very young and still in high school and college. You guys are activating a consciousness that a lot of people, even much older than you, don't ever achieve, right? They don't ever activate this. And in a sense, I feel bad for you, but I don't, because it's a good thing, right? You're awake and you're seeing through the illusions, but you still have to go to school or you have to go to college. And you still have to integrate. I've got a young man in my reality who we were talking about this, right? He's on campus and he's like, yo, Ross, I know exactly what my life is gonna look like for the next 90 days until Christmas, right? He has his entire classes set up, where he's gonna be at, what building. And long story short, he's just kind of like, yo, is this it? You know what I mean? Like, is my life gonna look like a routine from here on out? I kind of have to tell him, brother, you're young, I'd say around 23, 24, reality was starting to shift for me like big time. But I mean, he's 18, 19, right? Fresh out of high school. You still have to integrate, right? You still have to integrate. You still have to integrate. This reality is full of conscious actors and unconscious actors. Once you wake up, you are now a conscious actor. You have to go through the motions. You have to play the role. You've got to wear your mask. And you got to keep it going. And I had to help him understand that there's no more relating to people anymore, right? You guys have to understand, once you shift your frequency, there's no more doing the same things you were doing earlier, right? The same hobbies that you may have started while watching porn and being a degenerate. That same hobby, either you take it to a different level and similar attention, or you just find yourself not even interested in it anymore, right? And it's usually like low vibrational activities, I say hobby, but low vibrational activities that they were interesting to you when you were a little, when you were low vibrational, and all of a sudden they're not, right? Low vibrational topics that your friends are talking about, they were interesting when you were on that level. Now they're not. You genuinely cannot enjoy these things anymore, man. It's over. There's good to it, right? It's not just dark and sad, right? There's good to it. Now you're allowing yourself to invite higher frequency interests, activities, opportunities into your reality to where that's all you're gonna want to tolerate, you know what I mean? Something kind of funny happened to me not too long ago, right? A couple months ago, this comes to mind. A couple guys around me were these are weekend warriors, right? That's what they call them. They live for the weekend, right? They work during the week, and then the weekends is when they go drink and do the typical, right, party. And one of the guys makes a joke about jerking off, right? And the wife. And I didn't find it funny, right? It's four of us and the other ones are laughing. They're all laughing and they're all chuckling and giggling, but I didn't find it funny, right? I'm not going to pretend to laugh. I didn't find it funny, so I didn't laugh. And they get their little giggle out of the way. And, I made the situation a little bit uncomfortable, right? I don't care because I wasn't laughing. It was genuinely cringy to me, right? The way that individual made that joke, he assumed that all the guys that he was talking to all do the same thing, right? Because every guy does this, right? No, I was genuinely cringed out. It was very cringy. And after it happened, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, wow. In their minds, this is normal. And me, years ago, back when I was doing that degenerate stuff, I probably may have smiled a little bit, right? I may have laughed, but it's just completely different now. You know what I mean? I've talked about this, but you guys have to understand the first couple weeks and months of your semen retention practice, they're the hardest and the easiest at the same time. I say hard because a lot of you guys, your minds are sexualized, so it's gonna take time for you to stop lusting after every, sexual image you see, or the idea of something sexual might get you horny, right? That's gonna take time for your mind to get over. Listen, if you feel like something's fundamentally fucked with your life, but you can't figure out what it is, Chapter 1 shows you what they've been hiding, the real reason you feel powerless. It's free. The science they use to keep you weak. The link is in my description. Read it tonight. You're gonna finally understand what's been taken from you. But once you do get over it, what's easy is that you'll be at 90 days, 120 days, 4 months. It's very simple. It's very easy to still integrate and interact with people. I always tell you guys this, human beings are going to find you very attainable, right? Your energy is not too far out to where they feel like you're out of touch. So your energy is like it's a cool sight to behold, right? It's different, interesting. Something's different about him, Chris. Okay, cool. But they still have no problem chatting up with Chris, right? Or approaching Chris. this and that, right? You're still attainable, you're still in reach. This is around the time where you're gonna find it easy to really be at your job and get promotions and feel motivated in the third dimension and in the real world, right? Okay, cool. After a while of you being on this practice and your energy's going higher and higher and higher, you're gonna find it even harder to integrate. One of my biggest issues at this point of my journey is not raising my frequency, but it's grounding myself and finding things to help me relate. For example, grounding myself, something like this channel and recording videos, right? I have to be very premeditative when it comes to things like this. I actually have to take action to do things that actually ground me. If not, it's very easy for me to drift out. And drifting out isn't good. You can't drift out all the way because, again, we're here having a physical experience, so you have to integrate. I think these days I have found a good balance. It's got to be things that really drive me and serve a purpose within this third dimension. It can't be an empty pursuit. If it's empty, I'm just not going to want to do it. And if I don't want to do it, I just start drifting out. You know what I mean? So it's a very interesting cycle. But those of you guys who are in school and you're young, again, I feel for you, but you've got to play the game. Now, there's one more thing. This young man in my reality, right? We were talking about something, and he was telling me, okay, Ross, I get semen retention. I get it. I get the practice. I understand why this has to be something that we do for the rest of our lives. When it comes to women, if I haven't had any experiences with women, what do I do? And I had to keep it real with him. If you're young, you need to go have experiences with women. You need to go interact. This world is a little bit different post-2020 and post-pandemic, but you do need to go interact to a certain extent. One thing I did tell him is that now that you're aware and your eyes are awake and you're able to see through the veil to a certain extent, right? Your eyes are waking up, you're seeing through the simulation. Okay, cool. Go through the motions, have fun to whatever capacity you can, but you shouldn't be messing up, right? You shouldn't be fucking up like the other guys who are unconscious, right? Like the unconscious actors. You should not be fucking up to the same degree that they do. You are now aware of certain things. Have fun, but have fun with a bird's eye view. You know what I mean? You're young, go to the parties, do this, do that, but then don't be like the other ones who are completely immersed and they're losing themselves, right? Have fun, but do it from a bird's eye view. With that being said, you shouldn't be fucking up. If you do fuck up, it shouldn't be as drastic as those who are asleep. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying, right? Those of you guys who are young, do what you gotta do, but then your fuck ups should not be drastic. You understand that everything is energy, nothing's happening by coincidence. You're at the party, they're doing this, they're doing that. Integrate, wear your mask, but again, don't completely immerse yourself. Honestly, you're probably not going to be able to completely immerse anyways. You know what I mean? That's the trade-off. This universe has a very uncanny way to give you something, but then also take something away. This is the truth. I talk to you guys in the back and you guys are hoping to find a woman on your level. Nah, brother, as you wake up, and certain realities start making themselves known to you, you're done. There's no finding a woman on your level. Your best bet is finding a good woman who a clean slate that you can mold. But to a certain extent, you're not going to run into a woman who's just hip to this and that and this. If you do, there's probably a man who activated her. Maybe her dad. That's kind of unlikely nowadays, right? We have weak fathers everywhere. There's someone else in her reality who put her on. And oftentimes these aren't the women that you want to chase. Believe it or not, they're spiritual and conscious, but it's more so a learned spirituality versus these women actually having woken up, right? This conversation can go deeper, but we're not going to get into it. So if you have any questions, get on Discord, come talk to me. That, or I think I've got a lot of guys on there who are pretty self-aware and conscious who can answer your questions. So don't hesitate to get on the Discord and come talk to like-minded individuals, all right? Cool.